morning. Salam alaikum, alaikum salam, and sambi lakutari. I pray and ask that God Almighty, the higher power, blesses all you guys today and every day, and all your loved ones also. I wanted to speak about some of the syncretism there is in some of the African, Cuban base religious, ways. A lot of people here sometimes mix both faith, both beliefs, or both walks of life, or both let's say tierras, and to each his own, and to everybody that has it that way. I don't really speak negativity about it. I myself believe that you shouldn't mix one thing with the other. But we have to also understand that because of the slave trade and the Caribbeanized way changed and mixed and did some things in some houses, some unansos, some places where they do mixing. We say cruza, cross, because they're crossing one thing over to another, or mixing it, in other words. And when I'm speaking about a lot of some houses, and I'm going to say a lot, that mix ocha or santeria with Palo Mayombe, and they kind of look at the Palo system, Palo way of life, the same way they look at the Orisha worship, the Orisha way of life. You understand? I'll give you an example. We have Mama Chola, right? Mama Chola, to make it very simple for you, it's going to give you just one basic thing. One of the properties of energy, and maybe one of the most important, is sweet water. Let's say the rivers, the lakes, maybe it's the swamps, stuff like that. So they would mix that with Oshun or Ochun, the goddess of the rivers, or not the goddess. Well, they say goddess, or the saint of the rivers. Sweet. She has to do with more. See, there is some similarities in some of the natural things that they represent, but they're not the same. So sometimes you will see, maybe in a place or a house of a tata or a palero, you will see a yellow receptacle. Some type of caldron or something painted in a yellow, and that symbolizes Ochun in the Santo. But for us, the color doesn't really mean, and I'm not going to say for all of us, but I want to say for most of us, the color doesn't mean really much to us, because we don't look at our empungos that way. You understand? We look at our empungos like forces, let's say, of nature. Sometimes you would see a caldron painted red. And some people call it Shango or Chango. But that's a cow drum. That doesn't have anything to do with Ocha. That's Palo. But because it's painted in red, it's already symbolizing Chango. For us, it's Ensasi or Siete Hayo. It's an energy. It's a force. You understand? Lightning is one of them. You know? Sometimes you will see a one painted in white, and they'll say, "Oh, that's Babalu Aye. That's San Lázaro, Saint Lazarus." No, not for us. That's Cubayende. The energy of the curing properties, or let's say doctor, you understand, that the force is used mostly to cure people with sicknesses and stuff. See the difference? See where I'm getting at? It's an energy source. It's not a actual saint that you're praying to give you that. See, so there's a difference. Yeah, they have some properties that there is in the other faith also, but it's not the same. So we have to learn how to differentiate. Yeah, use the properties that they use because we use them also, or they do concur with one another, but at the same time, there's other things that Orisha worship or Santeros do that's totally different than what we do. You got some people who got what's called an elegua. That you get, there's a debate, but you get an elegua from a Santero, or you get an hecho elegua from a Babalawo. Okay? I'm not going to even speak into that because I'm not qualified. I'm barely qualified to speak for what I'm speaking about. Okay? Just to be honest here. So they will mix elegua, and they will mix him with cuatro viento. For us, cuatro viento. Why? Because in Osha or Santeria, elegua, one of his characteristics is opening and closing the roads, the doors for you. For us, Lucero, not Lucero Mundo, which that's a big thing. Lucero Mundo is very big. Maybe if not the most important, but very important. For us, a Lucero, it's also a opener of the roads for us. A lot of people you would see would syncretize it and would say that's a legua, but it's not. Totally different, you know. So we have to understand that, and we have to look beyond that, and really try to do the best that we could do to follow the African tradition ways that were Caribbeanized in Cuba, and follow the way that goes mostly, or I'm trying to go mostly to the most ancient. I can't go too ancient because then that will be the Bantu in Africa. You understand? And that's very different over there. You know, it's a lot of things over there that here we don't do. You understand? It was just a quick video on stating things that we got to look out for, we got to be aware of. And if you want to try to practice and follow this way of life, and you like me, I'm trying to follow it and understand it in a slightly more purer way. Understand? I don't want to follow or do something that it's going to bring confusion. It's going to bring mixtures of things together. I don't want to do that. I want to follow a way that's more pure, there's always going to be something. I'm not going to say that, I'm not going to sit here and lie. There's always going to be something that you're going to see in Ifa, in Ochal or Santeria, and Palo. And you will see some syncretism in all of them. Because you can't take it away, because one lived by or was kind of not adopted, but took from one another. And if we want to go way back, a lot of us believe that from Malongo was where, if not all, the majority was taken from, and then added to their faith. But we're not going to get into that. That'll bring a whole debate and whole problem. We're not here for problems and debates. We're only here to, But if you think, what was created first? You understand? And salam alaikum salam. Any questions or anything, leave them in the comments below. I don't ask for thumbs up. I don't ask for subscribe. I don't ask for none of that. You know why? Because I don't do this to get money, and I don't do this to monetize, and I won't. You understand? There's barely much information I could give you as far as things they have to do more in depth in the faith. I know to a certain extent, certain rituals and certain procedures, but I'm not so profound in knowledge in the faith. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I am a student like yourself. I am learning, and I'm grateful for being just that, a student. I don't need to be anything else, So, salam alaikum, alaikum salam.